I'm here at the Garrick Theatre today. I'm going to see Bonnie and Clyde again. I can't wait to see it. And somehow, once again, I've convinced them to let me inside while they're setting up for the show to this time badger a cast member and ask her a few questions.
My name is Lauren Jones, but on social media I'm known as Lauren Zazzles.
Lovely.
I play Trish in the show and I'm alternate Bonnie.
Perfect. And can you tell us something about Trish that the audience might not already know?
I feel like she's everything that you need to know about her. I usually put very much on display because she's that kind of loud character.
Yeah.
But the only thing I can think of is maybe that she always visits her husband Joe in jail. Oh, Joe in jail, say that really quick. Yeah, because there was like a deleted scene in the Broadway version where she actually visited him. And he said, I wish I could remember what the line was. But I remember it was like my favourite line at the time, but now there's so many new ones. But yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. Would you be able to show us around the stage that we are currently standing
Yes, I would love to.
Okay.
Okay, so, oh gosh.
Sorry, putting you on the spot.
No, don't worry, I'm just going to try and sound really
photos
smart.
here.
Yeah, so we have all
That's so
the
cool.
photos of Bonnie and Clyde, and also when they met up with their family.
Yeah.
So it's like they're little Easter eggs for people in the first few rows to see. We also have the ukulele that Clyde uses in the show. And we also have this radio, which I believe it did in the arts. I don't know if it does it here. I'm pretty sure it still does, where it lights up and you have Bonnie's voice coming through it sometimes, which is very cool. We also have a sink that in the arts we wanted to have running water, but we couldn't. We didn't quite have the facilities in there. But now we do. So there's like 2 moments in the show where I think, is it Clyde both times is like washing his hands or washing his face in the sink, which is really cool. And this is also a teddy from the arts that's just stayed with us. It used to be the teddy that Ted gave to Bonnie. So those who haven't seen the arts production, that's the little Easter egg that he won it at a fair for her.
Oh,
which is really sweet.
yeah, that's nice.
And we also have the little figures that when we were first rehearsing the show with the little kids who played young Clyde, he would actually play with all the little figures, but that was cut very early on in the process.
Okay.
So
The kids aren't in it now, are they?
not anymore. It's the actual Bonnie and Clyde. They
Yes.
formed the kids, and you grew up with them.
Okay, we've moved over to the other side now. This is stage left.
Stage right.
Stage right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Edit
I
that
actually don't
so
know my
much.
left from my right, so that's the issue
Don't
there.
worry.
Okay, what have we got here?
Okay, so I think this was like referred to as Bonnie's side. So a lot of things that you see are like Clara Bow kind of based. So you see like a picture of her that when she goes to work, she looks at this picture at the beginning of the show when she turns into older Bonnie and she's in a waitress outfit. She puts on a bit of red lipstick, and she's of course got that picture right next to her because she's constantly trying to become her, to become Clara Bow. What's really cool about the mirror is actually it's got like I don't think this is the technical term, a glazing on it that kind of stops it from shining. So you actually can't see a reflection in it. You can see like a dull kind of shadow of your shape. So when me, Frankie, or Sydney, if we're ever on as Bonnie, it's really hard to see where you put in your lipstick. So that's a really fun fact. So we're just trying our best and hopefully it looks really nice. If there's lipstick on my teeth, just pretend it's not there. Sure. This is the cashier that she used to use at the arts production. We actually used to interact with it and put money into it. Of course, you got Confessions, which is one of the magazines you would have read. You also have like a little ashtray that's used in This World Will Remember Me, to put out her cigarettes, and then you have the phone, which is used for the deputy, what was it called? The police scenes.
Okay.
Inside you have a lot of the stuff for Too Late to Turn Back Now, like her clothes that she pops into the case, and then you also have, I can't open this one, that's fine, a little, what is it called? Register?
Yeah, like a
Oh, it's a
safe.
A safe.
Yeah,
Exactly.
is that the word?
Yeah, it is. Thank you. This is why you really helped me out.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a little safe for one of the deleted scenes. So when there was a second hold up, they'd be like, get the money out the safe, and he would go in and open it up, and money would come out. I think the other ones are just. Oh no!
We've got
Never
some
before
jewellery
seen
in here.
props. Yeah, we've got like a few little bits and pieces. This stuff we don't interact with at all, so it's quite interesting knowing that there's actually stuff in here. Yeah, I'm not going to break it.
Yeah, not worth breaking it.
You also have like lots of bullet holes in the set as well, and they have lights coming through. So when the bullets are going off in the opening or any other part of the show, You have light coming through to simulate that, which is really cool. You also have taxidermy stuff up here. I'm not going to explain why, because it's quite disturbing.
Fair enough.
But yeah, also the chicken or slash goose that Clyde's mom has is a real.
Is it?
It's,
Oh,
yes.
okay.
Very gross. And
Actually,
we
I
called it
could have done without
Lucy
knowing that.
Yeah, so you know, that extra realism.
Yeah.
So poor Pippa, she has to hold it on stage all the time. The bullet holes in the sliders are real. They're real bullet holes.
Are they?
Mhm.
That's so cool. Wait, can we see them?
Yeah,
Like,
of course. You can see where like the damage is as well.
Wow.
So these are all real. You can see like the little
Yeah,
bits.
that's crazy.
Some of us would try to like peek through them to look at the audience. We realised the audience can see us, so
yeah, maybe not then.
never again, not after the us. So this is like the wonderful card, and inside you can see all of our signatures. So these were all the Bonnie and Clyde's that were in the arts production, and I reckon by the end of this one we'll also add Sydney to that. I think Sydney's the only new Bonnie.
So what do we have here?
Okay, so this is one of the props tables that we have in the show. We have two, one on this side and one on the other. Let's see if I can go through all these props. So we have the rag that Bonnie uses and the one that Clyde also uses to fix the car. So it's kind of like their first meeting before touching hands completely. Very sexy stuff indeed. We have thousands of versions of Buck's letters. So this is the letter that Clyde sends to Buck in Act 2.
Does it have the actual words on it?
Yeah.
I always wonder
So
when
in
I
case-
watch stuff, I'm always like, what is on that bit of paper?
Oh yeah. If George is like, I don't know what it is today, just looks at it. But yeah, we've got loads of them because, of course, they get burnt in the show, so we need to keep them. As many as we can. We also have like loads of different versions of cigarette ends because we use e-cigs in the show, which are very heavy in your hands. So like trying to be cool with it, you've got to have like some sort of restriction between your fingers to do it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just swearing to the camera. I didn't
No,
mean to do
that's
that.
absolutely fine. Go ahead.
But of course, for hygiene reasons, we all have our own little bits. So of course, you can see that this would be Frankie's box. We've got Jordan's here. Jodie also uses cigarettes in the show. And then I'm called Zazzles because I'm known as Zazzles in the show. So everyone has their own thing. As you can see, this is the lipstick that we use.
It's a L'Oreal.
That you actually put on as well.
Mm-hmm. I think this one is Frankie's, yes. And we all have our own lipsticks as well.
Oh, good hygiene.
We're very good on this show. We also have Bonnie's poem book. There's two of these in the show. I'm wondering, yes. So inside them, we also have the poems written out.
What, just in case you forget, or is it just an Easter egg?
You know, if nerves get the better of you.
Fair enough.
No, I think it's for like a little Easter egg kind of thing.
That's cute.
We also have different types of lighters as well, because there's one that works and two that don't.
Yeah.
And the two that don't are like to simulate lighting a
okay.
cigarette, whereas the one that does work is of course for Buck to use on his letter. Make sure we don't get those mixed up because then the scene changes dramatically.
Speaking of those lighters, actually, last time I watched the show, when Buck was trying to set fire to the letter, it would not set a light. You could really see him kind of keep having a go at it, and it just would not set a light. And obviously that's part of the magic of live theatre, isn't it? Sometimes things go wrong. Do you have any mishaps that you wouldn't mind sharing from when you've been mid-performance?
I'm
something
absolutely
hasn't quite come to
perfect.
plan?
Nothing's ever gone wrong.
Yeah, of course. Sorry, I shouldn't have even asked.
There was one that happened actually in the arts production. So the trucks that you see sort of behind you, where a lot of our set comes on by, when it was at the arts, they had to be a lot thinner because we didn't have much space. And the bed had to come on one of them, and this is for Too Late to Turn Back Now. The bed was slightly off it. And I know that me and Jordan go on top of the bed at one point. So I was watching it the whole time going, I need to make sure that bed is like completely on that truck because we are going to go off.
Yeah.
And it's very dangerous. So I was like, I need to sort this out. So I was trying to tell him with my eyes, like, I'm gonna look over there. And we do this whole choreography where I'm supposed to get past him and he stops me. And I was like, please don't stop me, stop me. And I went, no,
stop me.
I need to do it. So I had to go past him, move it. But then my adrenaline pushed it too far the other way.
Oh, no.
So we were doing the rest of the scene and I'm going, oh my God, he's got to lift me onto this bed. And he lifted me and I instantly got off it and went boom. And I was like, now we're okay.
Good
So
problem
there was
solving.
a lot more
Yeah.
love and danger in that.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's great.
I've really noticed, particularly online, that this production has gained such a dedicated following, and I was just wondering if you had kind of any theories about why that might be.
I believe it's become like a cult classic, a bit like Heather's.
Yeah.
It's that same kind of, like, the fan base kind of crosses over, I think. The reason why I think people love Bonnie and Clyde so much is because of how young they are. They're pretty much the same age as everyone in that audience. I'm literally the same age as Bonnie, which is crazy to think of.
That's crazy, yeah.
And
They were, how old were they?
23 and 24, I think, when they died.
Yeah, that's
which is
so
incredibly young.
Yeah.
But it was also that idea of they're the Romeo and Juliet. They're not supposed to be together, and they're fighting against everything to be together. So it's that modern Romeo and Juliet story coming back in again, which we all love.
So, next question. We're in the dressing rooms now. You obviously have your two main tracks, your Trish and your alternate Bonnie. Which do you prefer?
Oh, it's hard. Probably Bonnie, mainly because as Trish, it's very bitty because it's more of a Bonnie and Clyde show than ensemble. So like you feel like you want to be on stage a lot more. But Bonnie's also absolutely badass. She's such a wonderfully intricate person that it's really fun to play.
And when you are on as Bonnie, what does kind of a typical day look like in comparison to when you're on as Trish? Do you do anything differently?
I try to give myself as much sleep as possible, so I end up sleeping in until like I think 11.
I respect that.
It's great. Then I come into work. What I do is I quickly go to prep before I come in, and I get myself a sandwich and a lemon drink. And the reason why I get lemon is because Bonnie, when I was researching into her, she would use lemon peels to disguise the scent of alcohol on her breath when she was meeting with her mum. Sorry, not her parents. Her dad's dead. She was meeting with Clyde's parents and her mum. But yeah, she would use it to disguise the scent. So doing just a tiny thing like that helps me feel like a bit more at one with her.
Yeah.
Which is a scary thing to say since she killed people.
Take it with a pinch of salt.
That kind of stuff. And then do warm up, which is dance and singing with the whole cast. And then I try to get ready as quick as possible, just so I can settle in my dressing room and just relax.
Okay, obviously you are more familiar with the show than the average audience member. What is your favourite like little detail that I might have missed or an audience member might have missed?
Favourite detail? So I have two, one as a performer and then one as like staging wise. The one on stage would be that there's real bullet holes on the sliders, because not many people would know that those are actually real.
Yeah.
The one as a performer, when I'm on as Bonnie, I actually change my makeup in Act 2.
Oh.
So in Act 1, it's very similar to this. It's very clean, I would say. Very natural, as natural as you can be on stage.
Yeah.
But for Act 2, I try to go a lot darker and almost... I create the switch to Clara, basically. So I do her makeup style to show that Bonnie's completely gone to that dark side. She's in a movie now.
Yeah.
So yeah, and it just creates that darker appearance for my eyes, so you just think she's gone down that.
Yeah,
road.
symbolism. Love it. So this is your dressing room station, right? Could you talk us through it?
It's so clean. What I have in my station is we all have baskets that have our tights, our mic pack, our show bras that we wear, and these get washed every show, which is great. I also have loads of gifts that I've been given as fans because I like to keep them in front of me and stuff like that. So I've got like a little jar of lovely messages from fans.
That's really
which is really sweet. So this is one of the things that we got on opening night for the producing team, and it's a bullet with Bonnie and Clyde and the date on it.
That's really cute.
Which is incredibly cool. I like to think it's one of the bullets that was shot into the set. Whether it is a different thing, but I hope it is.
It can be.
It is in my
whatever you believe it to be. Yeah.
We have all our clips and stuff, so it's for our prep for under our wigs and stuff, which I still have here. I have my book because I like to read before the show, and I also have my iPad because I like to make TikToks from the Bonnie and Clyde page.
Nice.
Which is really cool. We have my handbag as props, and that I think is kind of it for my station. I've got like gifts from my parents up here.
Oh, I love that.
And my little hat and a tiny hidden candy kitten snack in there just to get me through the interval and into Made in America.
Yeah,
so yeah.
Good. So next question is all about your costumes. I can see the costume rail here, but how many costumes do you wear in the show?
So for Trish, I wear just two main costumes, which is her dress and then her blouse and skirt. And these of course have like accessories like a hat or a jacket or a cardigan. So you can see this is the salon dress I'll pull it out. which I wear
I really
for
like that.
yeah,
That's lovely.
I wear it for like the whole of Act 1 and then a bit of Act 2.
Yeah.
So I stay pretty much in this one. It's very comfortable, which really matters in there.
Yeah,
I love it.
absolutely.
And then if I get the blouse out, which I have so well put on these hangers, wardrobe don't kill me. So this is the lovely green skirt that I actually wore as Blanche when I used to cover her in the arts production. And this is actually, this whole outfit is my Blanche outfit, which is crazy. So that's a tiny little Easter egg that no one knows about. And then of course you have the lovely jacket here that I wear at the very beginning. Unfortunately, I don't wear again for the rest of the show, which is very sad. And then a little cardigan for church. So yeah.
If you've had an opportunity to play any other role in the show, not the one you have or the ones that you cover, which would it be?
Clyde Bear.
Yeah, fair.
It's because it's so dark, and I get so excited watching Jordan, Barney, and Charlie absolutely kill it, and I just love seeing the different versions and the different. It's getting that balance of like the charisma that he has and also the absolute darkness that he has and how much of a victim he was, and it's very interesting seeing how that can change very quickly, and I think it's so much fun playing that kind of character.
Right, I imagine you've got things to do, so we will be on our way.
Brilliant. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
See you.
See you later. If, like me, you always want a little peek behind the curtain, then I hope you've enjoyed this video, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel to watch more like this. A huge thank you to Lauren and the Garrick Theatre for letting me in and letting me pick her brains. Bonnie and Clyde closes on the 20th of May at the Garrick, so if you haven't seen it yet, or if you want to squeeze in an extra viewing or two, then make sure you catch it before then. Thanks for watching, see you later!
No visitors allowed.
Apart from us.
Apart from us.
Cool.
Take it away!
Take it away!
Those who haven't seen the arts production, then that's the little Easter egg that he won it at a fair for.